Good evening, everybody, and welcome in. We bumped our usual show because Trump has given a speech a little bit later. We're going to kick Pigeon here in a minute if he does that again. But we figured we'd get together, do a little bit of chatting about what we think is coming in the speech, and then listen to it live when it goes live in about an hour. So let's get it started. We'll go with you, Graham. How you doing, and what do you think it's about?
Ahoy, hoy, meat bags. Don't you go pulling a Gavin McGinnis pigeon.
What up, hey, Paul?
Going full Monty, are we? All right, well, that's one way to go. I think my 2 cents is I think this is a precursor to sort of lay out the case for the Save America Act insofar as to say, hey, look at all the fraud we found. Now that everybody knows, there's no hiding behind anything. This is happening. We know it's happening. And if I think, honestly, the purpose of this is to scare the Lisa Murkowski's and, zombie McConnell and that lot into finally voting for this legislation. That's what I think it is. But
fair enough. John, good to see you.
Likewise.
How you doing? And do you agree with Graham? You think that's what it's going to be about?
More than likely. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I pretty much was running around before this, so yeah, it's running late.
Oh, okay. So, Darth, welcome in. You in consensus? I think everybody's in consensus that that's what the speech is going to be about.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? A tremendous Thursday to you. I think you guys got it on the head there. As far as I could tell, going through social media today, they were talking about the Georgia elections and a couple other things, and I thought that's probably more likely than declaring Alberta the 51st state. So, as much as I might love that,
I think it's okay to dream there, brother.
And we pulled Pigeon in too for his non-American opinions. So
yeah, well, I mean, we're getting a prime minister that no one voted for in about 3 days anyway. So politics-wise, we're not far behind you at the moment with the craziness.
Fair enough. And of course, Spider. Take it you're probably on the same boat with everybody about this being about the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's going to, we had a bet at work thinking it may involve that they're just going to put boots on the ground in Iran to end it, but that was like a 10%er.
Yeah, that's why I thought it might be at first.
But now my feed is starting to say that it involves something with China, so I don't know.
Oh.
Okay.
But then again, this year he did this, and he said there's a big press conference, 9 p.m. Everybody has to be there, and it was just to announce the 2 flagpoles being added to the front and back of the White House.
Yeah, you never know
that,
with Trump. Yeah.
So, Cole Hauser, have you seen anything different other than what we think this might be about?
No, I think it's listen, it's all about the midterms, everything that's happening. Nothing's really gonna change that because we all know what happened in 2020. We all know what happened in 2016 when they tried to do this. So it's all gonna be about election readiness and what they plan to do and how they plan to fight this. Listen, I've been in this system on both sides of the border. There's only so much you can do. If the one side's going to cheat, they're going to cheat, and you gotta. It's unfortunate, but you got to deal with it, right? So, like here,
what would you put in? What protocols would you put in place to try and help keep them from cheating? Because that's such a monumental task.
Well, listen, we have it in our country where you have to have photo ID.
Yeah.
We use paper ballots there.
Back to Freedom Canada, and at least they have a fucking photo ID requirement.
Yeah. So
we do.
It makes no sense especially with the United States being the greatest country in the world, but you gotta have proper elections, and if you don't have those proper like no matter what people say about my country and how deranged it is, like people, they go out and vote. You know, if they don't vote, you know, things don't matter. So you gotta have proper. You gotta have the ID. Like numerous times when I've gone to, like, and I've been an election scrutineer for our conservatives because I worked for them for so long. And you know, when you see a vote that's off, you challenge it. So, but it for some reason. There's the establishment on the right who don't want this to pass. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Darth Cole,
Yeah, the only
are you guys still up
Go
in
ahead.
Canada voting at about like a 60-65% clip as far as the population? Is that still true?
it
Depends, I guess, on
so
what
so where I'm
federal,
from,
provincial, and then city, right? I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
like federal's the highest percentage, and then provincial, and then municipal.
Yeah.
Municipal is really low out here in the West for sure. I mean, something like ridiculous, like 32% municipal elections. So it's pretty poor, but I don't know what it is in Toronto where you are, Cole, but.
well, like thank God I'm not in Toronto because Toronto is the liberal. Basically, Toronto is the California. Because people that are in the city, they vote left, where people in the outskirts vote on the right, the suburbs and stuff. So
Yep, like here.
it's
Yeah, same here.
but you know, it's I don't know. Listen, the reason why I got out of government politics because I saw no different with those on the right because they just keep spewing liberal left-wing policies. So you know, you'll as the conservatives try to do, they'll never out liberal the liberal. So
Yeah, I know.
Because the liberals stick together.
Like I'll give you a good example today, and it was so funny because on one of our local radio stations, they had a guest on, and who was that guest? John Bolton. And it was funny because when they introduced him as the former national security advisor for Trump, the former U.S. secretary, U.S. ambassador to the UN, but they never mentioned how he pled guilty for espionage.
Yes.
And all
such
he
a
did
small
was
thing. Yeah.
So, yeah. So do I have hope or focus on things? Who knows? That's why I stick to just collecting toys.
How many of you think
New boss,
how many of
same
you
as
think
the old boss thing going on with conservatives versus liberals? I mean, shit, Pigeon, you can talk about the conservatives in Britain. How conservative?
Yeah, I mean it's different on this side. The conservatives are seen as more right, and the Labour are more left. But basically, Labour are communist socialists, and conservatives are just the elite anyway. We don't really have left and right as such, red and blue. But we do, but like there's no real. Like the only political right we have at the moment is restore and reform, and then everything else is left, basically. But we're having the same problem as you with the postal votes and stuff like that. I know that's much more of a problem in America than it is here because it's more regulated here. Like my mum, she's 86, she can't get out to go and vote, so she'll postal vote. I don't see an issue with that.
No.
But you see, like with the Nick Shirley and people like that, they're going out onto the streets and getting homeless people. Sorry, unhoused people. They're getting them to vote for $5 and a cigarette and stuff like that. And yeah, that happens. But how much do you think that's been done in the American elections the last 2 times? Because there are thousands of dead people voting and stuff like that, and it's been found. All the fraud of that's been. Do you think that's what he's going to talk about tonight?
That could be that too. But it's also, before I go into it, I just want to think that it does make sense now that this announcement would be happening because the amendment to the Save America Act passed in the House, and they have enough votes in the Senate to pass it. So I think it's just building blocks to get there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what it is. You know, on the how prevalent is the cheating? So up until last year, I was ineligible to vote due to criminal record, right?
Same.
Yeah. So It's
Been there, done that.
a club we're all in, isn't it? Yeah, me, you, Gary. Yeah. I have never once voted Democrat ever. After my incarceration and getting out, I routinely received ballots, sometimes 2 or 3 with my name on it, registered as a Democrat. I started getting phone calls, all this. Hey, we want to make sure you're voting for us. But I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, and no, I didn't send a ballot in. I wasn't allowed to. It's against the law. So I didn't do it. But, and I even notified them, hey, I keep getting ballots. They're like, oh, that must be an oversight. Don't worry about it. Just throw them away. And I'm like, okay, but like, you should know I'm not allowed to vote. Why and why am I registered as a Democrat when I have it's
strange that
the only thing I can think of is they get do they get a list of ineligibles and say, cool, we'll just send ballots to those people, or that's where we'll harvest. I mean, there's no other. And I had voted in many elections prior to that, when I was still able to. I since got my rights back last 2024. Excuse me, fall of 24. Yeah. At any rate, that's just one personal example of I'm like, oh, okay, I see this. Didn't your dad get a ballot also?
Yeah, my dad passed away in 2019, and we got ballots for him for a few years for every election.
Yeah. And I can understand there's a bit of oversight in that, like you lose people in the cracks and stuff like that, but it just seems like there's thousands of names. And that just points to fraud to me.
It is fraud because the problem with an oversight is that when somebody passes away, you have to send their death certificate in to the DMV when you send their tags and everything back. You have to send them to all these, to Medicare, to Medicaid, all these places. You have to send a copy of their death certificate. And it's the same thing. My father still gets ballots, and he's been dead since 2013.
Well, and it doesn't make sense because with the tax situation, hey, this person's passed away, so the tax situation changes. So the IRS is very aware of it. So how the hell are they still so is the state. How are they still sending a ballot when clearly, as you said, Donna, you've sent it in many times that yes, here's the death certificate, this person's gone. I call bullshit that they claim ignorance and the system's not really horseshit. If you miss on your taxes or something, you better believe they are going to be at your door. They're going to find your ass, if you fuck up there. But if you die, oversight, whatever, bullshit.
Well, if the IRS can come after you for pennies on the dollar and keep harassing you and threaten to throw you in jail, an election should be easier, if anything.
Yeah, buddy, man. Them debt collectors sure came around for my grandpa shit after he passed, but we still got ballots for him. He passed in 2013. We got him in 2016 and 2020.
See, that's more than 3. That's 3 people now, just on this panel alone, that have had that happen to them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that, what does that say?
ABC and NBC will not be airing it. The speech.
Who is it?
ABC and NBC will not be airing.
Of course. That sounds about right.
Broadcasting.
They'll be fucking talking about it, though. You bet your ass they will.
Oh yeah, they'll be bitching and moaning.
And CNN will air it, but then when he says anything important, they'll say, "We're just going to cut back to the studio."
Yeah, the Communist News Network.
Anything that's going to disrupt the narrative, they won't post. They won't add. Mm-hmm. It's funny here because I'll tell you a funny story. I don't know, Darth, if you remember this. Years ago, so we have an outlet called the Toronto Star. I mean, I think they went after Drinker a little while ago. And what happened was they were talking about, this was like, I don't know, like 12, maybe 15 years ago. They were talking about the gun culture in the States. And they showed a picture of a guy holding an AR-15. But what they did was they basically took the picture in a way where they didn't show the head or the hands. They just showed the body in a white shirt in the AR-15. When everyone else showed that same picture, it was a black guy holding the AR-15 at a rally. The thing they were trying to cover up was it's whites only who has these guns, nobody else.
Mhm.
Yep.
So this
Imagine
is the perception the media will always play, and they will always, because like I said, I was in government for a long time. I was there, I seen it. You hear one narrative to the other narrative, and I would say, hey, listen, this never happened, but that's the way they perceive it.
Yeah.
And if this was an Obama or Biden speech, it would be shown. But because it's Trump and he's on the right, they can't show this because they don't want their detractors to say that there is a problem with elections, even though a majority of blacks in the U.S. say, listen, if you got to get on a plane, you need ID. If when you got to go get your license or whatever, you need ID.
Do you want to get in a club?
You can't buy a fucking pack of smokes without fucking ID, can?
Yeah. It's like over here, when we vote, you have to either go with your passport or a driving license, or you can have a government issued piece of paperwork that says you're allowed to vote, which you can have sent out to you. So it's very hard, almost impossible to cheat in the elections here, except for mail-in voting, which is what they're doing. Or they do what they're doing now. They just install a prime minister they say they want rather than have us vote for him. Because no one would vote for Andy Burnham.
Well, that's what happened here. Trudeau was just on such a, and I told, listen, because they tried to bring me back in, the Conservatives, and I said no. But I told a lot of people, I said, listen, the Liberals are going to win this election because Carney. Well, see, when we had the 08-09 downturn, the reason why Canada got out of it first is because the policies, like our Prime Minister, who was Conservative at the time.
Yeah.
They put in legislation, everything to get out of this. The one person they installed, the Conservatives appointed, was Mark Carney.
Yeah.
So that's why when he was running, a lot of the rhinos on the Conservative side voted for him, and this is why we're in such the mess we are in right now.
Well, he tanked 2 economies before he even got to Canada, didn't he? He tanked our economy as the Bank of England. CEO, and then I think Canada before that, or America.
It's tanking even more. That's why he keeps all his money and his family in the States.
Yeah. It makes it more difficult for everybody to travel to the U.S. now. And
our Prime Minister basically,
all politicians are corrupt.
Basically living part-time in Canada, while trying to say America's bad, but even though he has all his money, all his mutual fund, everything in the U.S. So
funny that
for us our northern friends here, Cole, Darth. I mean, they just added CBS to the list now. I guess they're not airing it. But do you get those? This may be a silly question. Does any of those air in your country? Yeah. You do
get all the stations.
If you can find them, they're not open.
Yeah, well, the one that we had a problem with was Fox News, because the Fox News was banned here for a very, very long time. Like you couldn't, like everyone who the only way you could watch Fox is like at the beginning it was on the internet. Like it was banned here for like both, and like the even under Conservatives, like they didn't want Fox up here, so. People
complained enough, and enough people wanted it that eventually they had to do it.
Yeah,
but that was the way. Absolutely right, Cole Hauser. I forgot all about that. I've had it for so long now. I forgot there was a time when I couldn't have it.
You could get CNN, MSNBC, all that stuff easy. Fox, you could not get it, and that's what people wanted. And then they finally had to renege and bring it in here. So don't be surprised that they're not going to go. But CNN, they'll probably just talk about something else.
They'll have a panel of 5 or 6 people on there, right?
It'll be J6, and we're coming up on the anniversary of J6 in 7 months. In 5 months, and we remember the threat to democracy. They'll do some retarded horse shit. Maybe they'll do a feature on Biden's new book where he goes, "I'm writing a book.
Swimming pool. Here's my legs."
You're right.
I feel sorry for the auto pen that wrote that book.
Yeah, exactly.
Jill wrote the book.
Well, I mean, that's
write a book.
That's the Dems fucking playbook, right? I mean, being from Hawaii, they've had Democrat rule here for fucking decades upon decades. They still blame shit on the one Republican governor we've had. Like she was governor fucking in the early aughts. They still blame shit on her till this day. And mind you, she's only Republican here. Anywhere else except California and New York, she'd be a fucking Republican. I mean, she'd be a Democrat. Only in Hawaii, she'd be a Republican with her policies and what she was doing. So it's like, the fuck.
Well,
you
that's
guys
all it
rem-
takes.
You at least had a Republican one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't.
Yeah, but all it takes is for one
In name
to
only.
disagree with like two things, and then suddenly you're not seen as
Like,
worth
if-
it for them.
I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a Chinese guy back in and I remember Rush Limbaugh back in the day used to talk about him. Well, there was a Chinese guy in California. He was a congressman, and he was bent on having guns and weapons banned in the United States. And you know what he got charged for? He got charged for trying to export weapons to China.
Yeah. I
Of
remember
course
that.
you did.
And
his
it's
name
funny
Dum
how
Dum
that
Fuck?
went under the. It's funny how that. Can't remember his name. Was like it was Ted something, but it went. It literally went after he got arrested. It literally just went under the radar, and nobody talked about it. But this guy literally got caught trying to ship armaments to China.
We've
And he
had
was
Congress people, this fucking idiot, what is her name? Sheila Jackson Lee or something. Some Popolo brought. Anyway. So she's trying to get guns banned and shit like that, like ARs, right?
Leland
Talking
Lee.
about how it's fucking chambered in fucking 50 cal. Ain't no fucking AR-15 chambered in fucking 50 cal, you fucking clown. First of all, what the fuck are you talking about, woman? She ain't never seen a gun in her life, right? Never fired one, never had to work on, never had to clean one, nothing. Man, fuck out of here with all that. What the fuck? By the way, just brought up my CIA watcher. You know, I'm still down. I only have one gun, right? Registered to mine. And that's it. That's all I have. Promise.
Yeah, they
Oh,
can't see you
fine, a
peeking
boating
behind
accident.
the camera that's
Simple
off.
promise.
You know, I think I found a clip of the Chinese that were trying to smuggle.
Yeah, his name was Leland Lee. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that guy. It was interesting.
Something wrong?
Spider.
That was him.
I'm trying to share my screen. You see that?
Oh. There it is.
We have new
There it
information
is.
now. Also on the plane crash, KTVU has just learned the names of
It's
the
amazing
four
how many people
pilots
don't
who
know
were on
about
board the
this.
flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Li
Holy
Fook,
fuck.
and Bang Ding Ao. The NTSB has confirmed these are the names of the pilots on board Flight 214 when it crashed. We are working to determine exactly what roles each of them played during the landing.
I appreciate her trying.
It never gets old, man. It never
I
gets old.
appreciate
I
that.
love it.
Hold up! Wait a minute. Something right.
And nobody caught that. Nobody fucking caught that.
Just read it.
It's amazing.
Oh, I think
It's
they
it's
caught
the
it,
Ron
but they just
Burgundy
wanted to watch
Anchorman
her.
thing, isn't it?
I think they just
Sorry.
wanted to watch her go through with it. I think they caught it.
Yeah, that was a producer's bet.
That was a setup.
Just
I mean,
put it
I was
in front of
waiting
her
for
and
the,
she'll
like-
read anything on that.
Yeah, holy fook and we too low, bang ding ow. Go fuck yourself, San Francisco. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that took a turn real fast.
yeah, that Leland Lee thing, Cole, man, I remember when that happened, and it
Yeah.
was like the amount of sweeping under the rug they did for that because it looked so bad. And Rush
they
had
just
him
basically
pegged,
pretended it didn't happen.
Well, the fact is, he tried to, like I said, he wanted to have weapons banned here, but then he's doing the complete opposite. So that's how those guys they run.
I want
Pinnacle
the
of
band
rules
here
being
because it's
rule
ruining my prices. That's basically all it is.
Yeah. You know,
But
they're
let's
all
face it, a
going
lot
with
of-
Victor Boot, and Leland's
Well,
over here running.
Well, a lot of politicians are war hawks. We get him over here as well. I mean, Lindsey Graham was famous for that, wasn't he? You know, however you feel about him politically, he was a war hawk. There's no denying that.
Really?
But that doesn't mean you're a bad politician, really, as such. It just
You
means
know-
that you're good at sales, you know.
it's funny because there was a guy, Glenn Beck. There was a Democrat congressman, Glenn Beck, had on. He just quit the party, and I remember because he said that the Obama said this. So he said he had enough. Glenn brings him on his show, and Glenn's trying to say, what did he talk about? Why did you quit? Tell us. And Glenn, at the end of the interview, Glenn just said to the audience, listen, I'm sorry for wasting an hour of your time trying to get this guy to say something. It was the funniest thing I ever saw. I can't remember the Democrat's name, but it was the funniest thing. And literally Glenn Beck had to apologize. I think this is when his show was on Fox.
Yeah.
Before he went by himself.
Yeah.
But that's how these people are. They don't care, you know.
A good politician will never answer the question. He'll always answer the question with another question.
Do you guys remember?
Completely detracts from it.
Yeah. Do you guys remember what happened to Mark Sanford, governor? I think it was South Carolina or North. I can't remember. He got and he was a rising star. Like he was going to run for president in the mid or late 2000s or you know, during the time when Trump was going to run. He was planning on running. And what happened was he went missing. It's the craziest story. You just look up Mark Sanford. He went on a hike.
Right here.
Yeah, he went on a hike.
This guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he went missing. They found him in Argentina with his mistress.
Yep.
But, like the state police, everyone went out looking for him. It was the wildest thing. This guy was like a rising star.
I remember this on the news. This was big.
Yep. That was huge. And he still never got a medal for being like the world's fastest hiker from here to Argentina in like 3 days.
Should have took a left at Albuquerque.
Well, he went missing in the Appalachian Trail or something like that. And
in June 2009, disappearing from the state for nearly a week, Sanford publicly revealed that he had engaged in an extramarital affair. He had led his staff to believe that he was going hiking on the Appalachian Trail, was actually went to visit his mistress, Maria Belán Shapur, in Argentina. Made national headlines, leading his censure, and
If you've seen a picture of that girl, he may very well have been hiking and climbing those, you know, but I mean.
That escalated quickly.
Why do they all look the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Republicans are just as bad.
Oh
yeah. Rot runs deep, in my opinion.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
It's funny, like up here we have so many different parties, but they're all left-wing parties. Like all of them. Even the Conservative Party up here is a center-left party.
Yeah.
Like there is no right-wing party in Canada. And there's, 5 or 6 of them. And you have the Liberals, the NDP, the Green Party, the Bloc Québécois. And they're like all these left-wing parties, and they all sort of vote the exact same way all the time. And then you have the Conservative Party, which, they'll turn over backwards for themselves to say that they're going to do the right thing. But then when they eventually get into power, which is usually only about one term where they actually have any real power, then they're out again for another 10 or 15 years. They never do the things that they need to do, like going in and changing the Constitution and doing things that would actually matter. But
between you,
it's like the Israeli parliament, kind of like there's so many parties within one party that 20% will just get you the presidency because 20% of the vote will just get you the presidency.
The Knesset has not had a coalition of greater than like 30% ever, has it? I don't think it has.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So
but,
do you guys think up in Canada was the Conservative sort of the neutering of that? Does that go back to Diefenbaker, you think, and sort of the concessions he made, or does it go back further than that? Because to me, I don't know a ton about Canadian political history, but my read, John Diefenbaker's where the schism really kind of happened, and the Conservative Party sort of lost favor with the Canadian public.
Well, I think we can go back to so I was actually part of the whole merger. Because we had the Reform Party, and then we had the PC party, and because there was like so much infighting and this and that, like who has a better policy. Now the Reform Party was basically, listen, they were from out west, they were conservative, they were strong, and then when the PC party, the Conservative Party, merged with them to become the actual Conservative Party all in one, what happened was the people that were on the left in the PC party basically eventually took over the reformers, and they started booting them all out. So that's what pretty much happened. So that's when they lost their edge, because the Reform Party came because of they were just ticked off with all the phony conservatives that's been. It was basically the Tea Party, the Reform Party, and then just got
gobbled up by a sort of light leftist party, and then became leftist.
And that's what they swallow them up, and then that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was the guy up there that you had that smoked crack? The mayor.
That was Rob Ford.
Rob Ford. Ford.
His brother is the premier. Basically the governor of Ontario. Like two different people completely, because the one who smoked crack, he was actually getting things done, and then they actually tried to boot him because he was getting things done. So the whole crack or whatever thing, that was just basically, the guy was good for the city because he was cleaning it up. He was getting rid of all the trash. But when the elites and all the people, on that side, when they see that, because they don't want to lose that stuff, that's when they have to go against these guys, because the entitlement means more than what the people want.
And he was, I guess, more right-leaning.
Yeah.
The Marion Barry of Canada,
basically.
That video of him is wild, because he calls it. He's like, "You're recording me," and she's like, "No," and he's like, I think the phone's on." He's like, "No, it's fine." He's like, and you can tell he's just whacked out. He's like, "Okay."
Well, he did get reelected.
Yeah. He passed away in what, like 2016, 15?
Something like that.
So did anyone see that there's now a post from Benny Johnson trending? People are saying that ABC, CBS, and NBC should lose their broadcast licenses for refusing to air Trump's speech.
They've got the right to not do it.
I don't like that.
I don't like it, but
I don't like them saying that they should lose their license for that. I don't like that.
That can be turned around easily.
They're already going down
very easily.
That's a freedom of speech issue, isn't it? So
it is. Yeah, I think they're allowed. They're private companies, so they're allowed to do that. What I would do is say, "Cool, you don't want to air that, and you're going to pick and choose. You get zero federal dollars. Nothing. You don't get any state, not even state kickbacks for filming a feature about, typewriter addiction in fucking West Virginia. No, you get nothing. You get nothing because you guys are not playing fair. So fuck off. You can play it this way, but
let them do that, because you got to remember too what's happening. The rise of social media, you're going to see how many people are going to be watching it on YouTube, on X. The more and more they go about this, the more and more they keep losing, because they're losing viewers left, right, and center. So nobody's paying attention to the CNNs and the ABCs and all these other channels anymore. They're just not, because people are going to be watching on YouTube. They're going to be watching because they're going to get actually authentic content from authentic people talking than what you're getting on your traditional CNNs and stuff like that. Because remember, CNN is basically just an airport, hub thing for TV news, because that's what you get. You're not getting. People are now going to their phones and they're going to YouTube, and this is why the MSN is losing. They're losing badly.
BS now.
Yep. And you know what? 100% put them on blast, bro. Put them on blast all fucking day about them not showing it.
Yeah.
Call them out all fucking day. But yeah. And then like Graham said, if y'all not playing, but this is the rules, right? We set the rules, right? Y'all got to be fucking neutral. Y'all got to show this shit. That is part of playing the game. You don't want to play the game. That's fine. That's the choice you made. And you don't get the benefits of, you know what I mean? Like Graham said, who the fucking, yep. All right. You show what you want, bro. Now you curating, right? Is that the word? Motherfucker, I don't know the word.
No, yeah, 100%.
But now you're curating what the fuck you showing, right? So do it. Do that.
Yeah, they're curating the news. This is fucking Ron Burgundy. You know, we're gonna let's make exciting, sexy news.
Yeah, I believe the link to the post is in the private chat if somebody wants to pull it up.
Sure. Yeah, I got it.
And then Fox News apparently is the White House is responding to Vance's remarks on Israel.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you watch how many viewers Jeremy gets tonight on this, and you watch how many Benny Johnson gets. Everyone's going to be getting those numbers because no one's paying attention to these guys. And you wonder why CNN and everyone's complaining that no one's watching their channel. Remember, what's the guy's name? Scott. They're only watching. Yeah, they're only watching for him. Like, nobody's making like.
Well, only boomers really watch the news now. It's like, again, people our mother's age, like, so 70 to 90 are the only people that watch the BBC because no one trusts them or believes them anymore. It's all. It's not necessarily propaganda, but it's all DEI. You know.
100%. And then, you know, I think this falls under the Leia and Tarkin. You know, the more you squeeze your grip, the more they slip through your fingers. The more you want to be like, well, we're not going to show it. All you're doing. So if Fox is showing it, then people that want to watch it are going to go watch the network that you guys say you hate. Yeah. So you're driving them there or driving them to social media. Yeah. It's a lose-lose proposition. You're better off just showing it, even if you don't like it. Like that's
at least then you can argue against the points of it live.
Sure. Yeah, so which they do. I mean, like you said, nobody, like Cole said, nobody's watching that fucking panel show for Abby Phillips or Anna Navarro. They're watching for Scott Jennings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gutfield pulls in more viewers. I mean, even I watch Gutfield, you know, and I'm so far removed from American politics that I shouldn't even watch Gutfield and find it entertaining, but I do because they, like the right, know how to take the mickey, and the left don't. Yeah, the left's version of taking the mickey is the View, and that's just a gold mine of just idiocracy.
Sparkler in your dick hole is what that is.
We've got a version called Loose Women. It's the same thing, but it's
not the same
near as political as that.
It burns.
Yeah, Loose Women. It's called Loose Women. Yeah, but it's basically the same show.
I always thought when
Loose Women,
Gutfeld showed those clips,
just talk a lot, basically.
Show clips from The View, right?
I know. It's a terrible name.
Remember,
especially some of the women that are on it.
You know, when you got Gunfeld, you know, showing clips of you know, Gary in his chair getting more viewers. You know, that tells
some
you
dude, a YouTuber.
Some dude on YouTube, bro.
Some YouTuber.
Well, Gutfeld gets more eyes on him than anybody else in late night and even in daytime. I mean, the only reason people know that The View still exists is because Gutfeld, you know, takes the piss out of him almost every night. Like people are like, "Oh, those guys are still on," because they don't get any eyes on him otherwise.
Like when we had, because when we, you know, when, like I said, when you just watch what the news is just putting out nowadays, it's just slop. They're not, and that's why everyone has moved, and this is why YouTube, Kick, Rumble, or whatever, they're getting the numbers that the MSM wish they were getting. They wish they were getting those numbers.
100%.
Well, politics aside, too, look at the what they did last night on Jimmy Fallon, the Late Show, is what they brought on and everything.
Oh, that lady.
What happened?
I didn't hear about it.
Somebody tell the story.
Chrissy something.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Is this that socialist broad from New York?
Aren't they all?
Aren't they all?
Like broad as in broad?
No, and you know what's funny too? I forget what I saw it on, but they asked this mob guy, this OG mob guy from New York, about how New York is now, and he's like, "Yeah, we'd never let that shit happen. You wouldn't do shit like that." And it's the fucking mob, right? Is over there telling you that your fucking neighborhoods are getting out of fucking control. Okay, maybe we've gone, maybe we've gone past the line a little bit when the fucking mob is saying that your fucking streets are out of control. The fuck?
Last time we were in Las Vegas, when Amy and we got picked up by a cabbie, and he was in his probably late 70s, so he was doing it part time, and he, we just got chit chatting with him, and he was sort of bemoaning Vegas now versus what he said the wise guys ran the joint, and I'm like, well, what do you like it better then? He goes, oh, absolutely. He's like, it's terrible now. I said, well, how so? And he goes, they would not. He's like, you see all the spray paint and the crime. He's like, they would not allow that shit. He's like, now, if you ran afoul of them or borrowed money and didn't pay him back or something, he's like, yeah, you'd wind up in a barrel in a hole in the desert. But if you didn't, if you minded your P's and Q's, you stayed in your lane, he's like, they would take great care of you and great care of the city and great care of the community. And, he goes, yeah, they did their thing, but he goes, they were much better stewards of the city and of the casinos. He goes, now it's all corporate. He's like, all they care about is their own property. The police, they essentially are like a bona fide security guards for the big casinos, and they just kind of let the rest of it go to pot. So I thought that was a really interesting take, and I think that kind of goes along with what you're saying.
Exactly.
It was all about respect.
Yes.
Well, and it's all, it's all jokes and shit too, but like, that's legit. It was all about fucking respect, right? You know what I mean? You respect the fucking, like, even like if you even go back to the root, right? Like now when they got completely are out of fucking pocket, our fucking doctors and lawyers in the hood, when all of that started, that was because the police wouldn't police the hood. So the gangs got together to protect the hood, and that's what that started as. That was the root of it, to protect the neighborhood, right? And then they got into all whatever it blossomed into now, right? But that's because the newer generations lost the fucking code, right? I come from a time where go to a man's house, right? You catch him out in the street, that's fair game. Touch his lady, touch his kids, and go to his house. There's rules to this fucking game, partner. You know what I mean? There's rules to this game. And the younger generations and the newer fucking kids, they don't play by the same rules, right? It was a gentleman's game back then. You did things a certain way, you acted a certain way, and you behaved a certain way. But,
even the criminal element still had scruples and sort of a moral code. Not anymore.
Yeah, we had a code,
yeah. Well, the Italians know how to run things.
Government.
It's just different.
Never shit on your own doorstep. That's the big one. Never shit on your own doorstep was the big one for us.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
When the Italians were running 100%. Chicago, New York, Vegas, they knew how to get things done. Boston.
Yeah.
Well, London had it with the craze. The craze were just like one aspect of it, but London, mainly all the cities were run by families. They still are to a point. It's just
that performance Tom Hardy did in that movie as the Cray brother. That was phenomenal. Man.
Yeah, what's that? Legend or something. That's what it's called, yeah?
Yeah, Legends, yeah.
Legend, yeah. And he played both Cray brothers. Man, that was good.
Oh. Another one
I preferred the one with the Kemps in it, the original one. That's still a good film. It's just the Hardy one's more gritty, more realistic.
Yeah.
But the original Craze is good.
That sounds like a versus.
Ooh, yeah.
Pigeon, email Donna.
Yeah, email
Throw
Donna.
it in an email.
Yep, do it through the email, guys.
Okie dokie.
We still got like
we had-
6
we
that we can't get to.
Let's say we had a versus the other day, didn't we? Hunt for Red October versus Crimson.
Yeah, that's on the list.
As long as mine's still on the list.
Add it to the list.
Let's go here. Let's do this.
Right, so let's check.
So what's
Be
he
right back.
going? He's going live at what, 9?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and find the right side broad feed for it. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Carolyn Nivet's talking at the moment by the looks of it, from what I can see.
I think one of the big things that has to be done is if they're going to have something this big, names have to get dropped, and they got to be like, well, we're following up with these consequences. They can't just be, we found interference and we're going to do something about it, like what's going on in Minnesota.
I mean, they've been saying that shit for a while now.
Well, I mean, even from 2020, right? Sorry, John. My bad, brother.
No,
But
you're
like,
good, bro.
even from like 2020, shout out Steve Dace. So he had a whole thing where, because he's a stats guy, right? And he said something like 3% is about the average of mail-in ballots that get rejected. And this is by people who do mail-in ballots consistently, guys overseas, whatnot, and what have you, right? When the 2020 mail-in ballots first rolled out, right? He said the rejection rate was like under a percentage, which is fucking insane. Like, this is people who have voted by mail. This is the first time. And you telling me the rejection rate, like for, you know, filling it out wrong fucking name in the wrong plate, whatever have you, right? The rejection rate was lower than the average of the people who do it all the time. Fuck out of here. Fuck out. On that alone, that whole fucking thing should have been shot. That's some bullshit.
You know, the thing is, just like having photo ID, the problem I have with that is my brother has been a career carny back before you even had to have ID. You know, you just roll in, they pay you cash, so on. The man has 5 different identities. All 5 identities get ballots every year.
Nice.
So regular ID really doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, there are always ways to skirt around a system, but it's when it's being done on a large scale mass factory situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so easy to get a fake ID. You know, he goes up to New Jersey to the gypsies and just says, I need to be somebody else. And, you know, so there's ways around having a photo ID.
Well, I got a perfect example where we used to vote in where I lived on Long Island. You would go to the local, we went to the firehouse to vote, and then they would let you in. You go to the table, wherever your last name was, you know, A through C, whatever it is. You go to your table. You say, I'm so-and-so, I live here. So they go into the book and they say, is this you and your address? I'm like, yep, that's me, my address. And this is your signature? Yes. Okay, sign next to it to match it. Sign next to it. Here's your ballot. Go ahead and vote. That's it. That's all it took. And know how many times the voting machines would take they would do it's not taking the machine. It keeps giving me errors. They're like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. And the amount of times it was ridiculous. But that's how easy it was. There was no ID.
Yeah.
And now where I am, that's the first thing they ask for.
What channel are you guys watching it on?
RSB?
Shoot for Right Side Broadcasting.
Oh, okay. Because have you guys ever used Mango News?
Mango News?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They do it. They're a patriotic channel. They do a lot. They do a lot of broadcasting, and I know Jeremy uses them quite a bit.
Mango on YouTube.
Mango News.
No.
Let me see.
They're on the right too. So
I have to look this up now.
The only one I've got coming up is an Indian channel.
John, what is this, John?
What's
explain this? Explain this comment, John. Why are you in chat? Why are you like this, buddy?
It's called I Want to Be Known as Dr. Phil My Ass. Talking about licenses and fake IDs.
There you go.
My porn star name, Fill You Up.
Oh, dude. Okay, listen, speaking of our Republican governor, this is the one gripe, like the real gripe I had with her. She came out and she did like a whole fucking thing about McLovin. Like, and we're talking legit fucking press conference addressing the state about fake IDs and fraud. Because this fucking kid in this movie got a fake Hawaii ID that said fucking McLovin. What are we doing, bro?
Spider, it's in the private chat.
We're not a real country anymore, bro.
Look at it now. Come on. A lot of advertisements.
So when Pigeon, you said y'all voting in what 3 days, or what is that? Prime
No,
Minister?
we're not voting. Basically, Keir Starmer left. He resigned.
Right.
And what's supposed to happen is we're supposed to call. You're supposed to have an election between the party members to vote in the next leader in the interim. They haven't even done that. All they basically did. Andy Burnham was the mayor of Manchester. He then quickly jumped into an election just to get the vote so that he could become an MP. He only won by he got about 5,000 votes. So he's basically going to become prime minister on the back of 5,000 votes in a small constituency, because that's what they want. That is what the Labour government have been trying for years to get a really socialist prime minister. That's what Andy Burnham is, and he's getting in without the public interest. We haven't got a choice, and the Conservatives have done that as well. They did it with Liz Truss. They when John Major resigned, they brought in an interim prime minister. So that's part of the process. But everybody in England is calling for a snap election or a general election, and they're just refusing to do it. They won't listen to us. They're like, no, we're doing fine. The Keir Starmer's just come out and said he's left Britain in a greater place. It's like, are you blind? Because no matter, like I was saying earlier to Donna, that that everything's not as bad as it's made out to be. It's like the American thing where people went to the World Cup thinking they were going to get stabbed or mugged, and then they ended up having a barbecue instead, because the way America's presented to other people is it's a bad place. And there's a bit of that with Britain. It's like way it's presented to American. It's like, it's Londonistan and stuff like that. And yes, there are some bad parts to it. Immigration is bad here. We had the gang inquiry and stuff. But that's all down to our government. Our government has let that happen consistently for the last 10 years. It doesn't matter whether it's Conservative or Labour; they're both just as bad as each other. To the point where we're now about to elect in someone that wants to immigrate anybody of any colour, race, and creed, and that's a scary road to go down, because, like, when you start saying things like we want to remove everybody that's not American or not British, you've got another World War II leader situation. That's where he started. And it was only the final solution that changed things there, But that's how real fascism starts.
Yeah, that sounds an awful lot like the mustache man.
Yeah, I mean that's what's coming. It's like Asmongold says it a lot. The next one is rising. I don't want to say Nick Fuentes, but those sort of people that would follow him, like relentlessly, like the people that hate Jews just because they hate them, or the people that hate black people, or the people that hate white people. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, no matter where you stand, you're not going to get listened to by any party or government. They don't give a shit about you.
Yeah, and I think that's the big trick, right? Is they think it's going to come out of the white people, and and honestly, I think it's the anti-white hatred is what's going to breed the next mustache.
Yeah,
it's
starting to be like that in Britain. It is becoming more and more right, to the point where it is scary. And I am half Jewish, so I do see some of the anti-Semitism is stupid, and it is Zionism and stuff like that. But there's also the other side of that is giving rise to the people that they just will hate on Jewish people just because they're being told to.
Yeah, those
like
You'd much rather cozy up to the Islamists as a half Jew, right?
yeah, I go to mosques all the time and they love me.
And remember how many prime ministers you went through in like that span, right? I think you went through like 3 or 4.
4. Yeah, I mean Liz Truss was only in power for 36 days. Her lettuce lasted longer than she did. Literally.
Yeah, Liz Truss. That was quick.
Yeah, and then since that, she's become more and more far right herself, to the point of, but she's only doing it because she knows that's the sentiment at the moment in Britain, that people
like
are
Maloney.
becoming more far right.
She's hardcore until she's like, yeah, more boat people, please. Mm-hmm. Fucking Maloney. What a letdown.
What did Crockett say in a Miami Vice about politicians? He says, because he mentioned how you know, because he said, "Well, I have a conscience." And he goes, "No, you're politicians. Your conscience is optional."
Yeah.
Always remove that line.
They've got a conscience until a lobbyist knocks on their door, and they, you know, it doesn't matter what that's for. That money says everything in all politics. If we're really honest, every politician is corrupt in some way, shape, or form. It's just whether they're corrupt and will still help you, or whether they're corrupt and don't give a shit.
They hated Matt Gaetz because Matt Gaetz didn't do any lobbying and he didn't take any PAC money.
Oh, there are a few good ones out there. There's no denying that.
So they do have a post. Senator Bernie Moreno says he's been briefed on President Trump's speech tonight and believes it could be the most important Oval Office address since the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh, shit.
Taiwan, 51st state. Let's go, baby.
Sorry, who said that?
Senator Bernie Moreno.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a senator.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless Agenda TV starts saying that China are mobilizing, I'd take that one with a pinch of salt.
They're
mobile.
Looks like
They refuse to sell you any more NVIDIA cards.
Senator Ohio.
That that could. I wonder. Okay, if it is about China, what are the odds it's about chip manufacture or chip production?
It's possible because of the AI thing.
Yeah, because that's really dry. I know we're in a bubble right now for sure, 100%. But it's not going away. AI is not going to go away. But I do think it will contract. But the chip shortage and the cost of memory and repurposed GPUs and chipsets, I think that is a very real.
Well, I mean, just remember, like it was only 4 years ago with the PS5 release, probably a little bit less than that. But like the chip situation there, and they still haven't recovered from that. And that was just one. That was just one company. It's a Japanese company. It was just about import and export. Yeah. But you know, they've only just sort of recovered from that, and like their sales are better now. But
GPU, just chips,
it's going to happen again.
Integrated circuits in general, just everything, memory and storage and GPUs, everything is just nuts right now.
Yeah, I bought a PC at the right time. I really did.
Yeah. Upgraded my graphics card right before the prices shot up, got a 5070.
Yeah.
And now they're like, jeez.
Yeah, and you're all right with a 5070 for probably a couple of years before it becomes obsolete. But
yeah, that's why I pulled the trigger.
Another one. Yeah, when you come to need another one, it will be $2,000.
Now going the founders of 5090, huh?
I don't even know what I've got in mind. It's probably like a 30.
I didn't feel like pulling out a second mortgage or something
for a video card. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're sweet, but
that's why I just got a basic PC, and I was like, I'll just build it up myself slowly. It's the best way to do it, really. But if you're going to do it, buy the video cards and stuff now, like before it jumps. But like you said, it will plateau and it will start dropping in price. But that's probably a couple of years.
I think within 2 years the bubble bursts, and it's not going to crater. I think it's just the market will correct it to where it should be naturally, because there's so much money flowing into it right now.
Yeah.
And companies like Anthropic and stuff, they're going to be fine. But the smaller startups, and I mean, especially here in Seattle, man, there's so many, AI startups, and it just feels like a very vacuous, vaporous space right now where people are just, VCs are trying to glom on as quick as they can, make their money. And it reminds me a lot of the subprime mortgage situation right before, like in 05, 06.
Just before the crash.
Yep. Or like the .com bubble is similar to that, although it's more, I think this is more, it's less ephemeral, but more volatile, actually, I think. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Not financial advice, by the way. Unfiltered Outlaws does not authorize any advice that we give as being financial, medical, or otherwise.
So
other game systems are available. But yeah, I think like when it comes to that side, I think when PlayStation and Xbox and stuff have finally announced that they're not going to do game consoles anymore, that'll probably drop the price of game cards and stuff, because there'll be a gap in the market where they're not doing it. They'll probably try and bring out their own sort of Steam box. I don't know what they're going to do, but there might be a gap in the market if eventually they do that, and I think that's not far away. Where they're just gonna make PCs. I know Xbox are going down that road.
Well,
Yeah, they keep waffling with this idea. Okay, so if Starlink and Kuiper and all of the broadband Wi-Fi or satellite Wi-Fi companies, if they can really sort of bathe the world in high-speed internet, then the cloud streamed gaming, where the GPUs aren't in your house, they're in a server farm somewhere, that becomes viable. It's just whether it was Stadia or Game Pass or any of those, you got to have a console to do the heavy lifting right now. It's just not there yet. But that is the way that they want it to go, because then everything's subscription, just like BMW is trying with high beams or heated seats. You pay us $6 a month, and then you can have high beams. Yeah, then you can have heated seats. You want airbag? Well,
fuck that shit.
Yeah, I haven't bought a physical game for a long time because I've got a 360S. So I buy digitally because I have to. And there's the Steam as well.
Oh, he's going live?
Physical anymore.
Here we go.
Cool.
Yep, we'll begin shortly. Looks like it's getting ready.
I think he's speaking. He's speaking.
Yep. You got Mango Spider?
I thought you had. I can't pull it up.
Nope. Here we go. Here, I got. Here we go.
What's happening?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Muted. Let's go.
Live streaming in. It's all about we the people. Let's go to President.
Put us on the bottom.
We begin. I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murderers, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago,
they're all just laughing
country
at
was
Canada.
dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week, it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation's policy.
What's the over-under? How long the preamble goes of Trump talking about his accomplishments?
20 minutes.
Days.
32 minutes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm going to say 10, 15 minutes. We'll see.
Because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%.
Are they coming down?
TrumpRx.gov. This will ultimately reduce the cost of healthcare. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of healthcare is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the...
It sounds like an infomercial, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm being honest here. I mean, I voted for the guy, but
Well,
it sounds like
listen, I did say this is going to be regarding the midterms.
Yeah, and you're right. I think this is setting the table, stacking the deck, getting ready to drop the hammer. So
yeah,
making sure all the good information is out.
Like spiders said.
Most secure borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months.
I don't believe that
is
for a start.
0. Nobody
There's
thought
no
it
way
was
no
possible.
one's getting in.
We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now...
Okay, so leading down this road, sounds like this might be a military action speech. Yes? Unfortunately, we're forced to use or all the action up to this point. What do you guys think?
Could be.
Nah, because they're already using it.
Yeah.
Too early to tell.
I do like the military I built, as if, everything from Pearl Harbor or World War I on. It was, we're just playing in a sandbox.
It did not exist at the time until the president brought it in.
The Emperor of Man got in, and boy howdy, we build those Blackstone fortresses.
Now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country could be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure. One where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence, revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes, and really exposes like levels never thought possible, to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board.
Okay, So, how deep is this rabbit hole going to go, you guys think?
I think he's going to take Tim Waltz out.
Look, I'm hoping it's fucking blowing the doors wide open, right? Everybody's hoping for that. But there's a good chance that this is Epstein's list 2.0.
Yeah, that's not what I'm thinking.
No,
man.
it's not Epstein. It's not Epstein.
We already knew, a la Pam Bondi. Although, the only thing I will say to that is JD was just on Joe Rogan not but 2 days ago talking about kind of throwing Pam Bondi, maybe not under the bus, but saying, look, she just was kind of taking advantage of a political moment. And we can't have another moment like that. To follow that up 2 days later with this would be catastrophic optics. So I hope that's not what they're doing, but I agree. I think that's a possibility. So
no, I think they're going after the fraud. They're going after the fraud. He's going after Tim Waltz and the like.
Yeah, if they're gonna drop the Epstein stuff, they're gonna wait. They would wait till at least September, October, closer to the midterms. They're not gonna drop that stuff now.
No, but what I'm saying, right? So what I'm saying is that when the list came out and they had all that photo up, it was a nothing burger, right? It's basically just a kind. So what I'm saying is, what they're dropping now, or what they could be dropping now, is like shit we already know. You know what I mean? Nothing really decisive is what I'm saying.
Oh, you mean like the Epstein files?
Like just like the right. It's nothing really decisive, nothing actionable. Like we were talking about earlier, where it's like, oh, we found this, and this, but there's no real. We cannot take any action on it.
And, you know what I mean? You gotta remember too.
Found evidence that something happened.
Yeah, and most of the stuff is going to be behind the scenes anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be the Georgia stuff, isn't it, and all that, because that's what they were investigating.
To me,
if they get to California, they get to Arizona, and all these discrepancies in these elections.
What I want. If it's just Georgia, to me, that's Epstein 2.0. We already know about that. I want to see Minnesota, California, Washington. I want to see the other places where they're in the books show that. And if the DNI, now here's the deal. I can tell you for a fact Washington won't be on that list. You know why? We've sued, our stupid AG has sued the Trump administration multiple times to prevent them getting access to our voter rolls. We're in the middle of a lawsuit right now. The Fed is suing the state, and the state is countersuing, saying you don't need it. It's retarded. So, but some states,
our AG, who's now our governor.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Gavin Newsom names comes up a few times here.
And I think that's the tack that the left, that's the BS Now and Communist News Network and those cats are going to take is, he's trying to put pressure on the states that no, they don't want to give up their voter rolls and get into people. They call it a privacy issue, which is complete horse shit. But that's where I think the spin will go. But
they'll invoke J6, won't they? He's just trying to overturn the thing that happened before that we know happened.
Sort of preamble J6, and then
supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings, we are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history,
so resulting
in China's
Russia.
illicit
It's
acquisition
China.
of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities,
okay, so knowing that, now that changes the calculus. States like Washington, California that have denied them access to the voter rolls, if they can show from a national security standpoint that those are the penetration points, their legal case of resisting this gets far weaker.
And we now know what they were using the AI for. It was
Got
this.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Don't get too attached to TikTok there.
Is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China signed a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country, a standard, very pat line that was divvied out to say. The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his reelection. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself.
Okay, so if China's trying to engineer this as early as 2018, and we know, follow me here, and we know COVID came from China, and they're smart enough to know that if everybody gets locked down, it's going to be mail-in ballot time, and they know what side always wins if the ballots are mail-in. Is it too far off base to think, hey, if this thing gets out and they go to the mail-in ballots, that's the easy way to, because they know that they're failing as far as public sentiment and stuff goes with Trump, then they force mail-in ballots by releasing COVID. Is that insane? Or
I look at it like this. You know what? No matter what they did, the Democrats and some of the rhinos, they were complicit in making sure that he wasn't going to win. So
it certainly seems like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how
I'm in the belief that COVID was here in 2019 or earlier, and that it got and like Graham was saying, that it got boosted because of what he's saying, because of the 2020 of the election. And
I can confirm, at least here in Washington, it was here in November of 2019 because I got it in November of 2019 before the first case was even reported, because all of us that got really sick that Thanksgiving just thought we had a bad flu. And remember, we were the first ones in the country to get it.
You did.
It was running around here. We were the first ones in North America to get it. And we were all just getting sick around Thanksgiving of 2019, thinking we had a bad, like, cold flu thing. And then, I think it was January or February, they announced the first cases. So I am,
I got it right before it was a pandemic.
Yeah. And then during the pandemic, they did mail-in ballots for everyone. And I mean, it was just, it was bad. Definitely it all contributed, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job. And they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military.
I think we just got our answer as to why
These are
some
exact
stations
quotes
didn't
from
want to
the
show this.
CIA reporting.
Yeah.
The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags.
Okay, so how's the media going to spin that? Because now he's dragging Obama through the mud. I think they're going to say that this is all manufactured. What do you guys think?
Well, they'll absolutely say that it's made up.
They're just going to say it's the same as Russia, aren't they? They're just going to spin it like that. That's what he's doing now.
Like China, yeah.
Okay, I can tell you here for a fact, because in 2015, and it wasn't like when we had our election for Trudeau came in, like the DNC was here in Canada operating on the ground. Everyone knew, nobody questioned it. Everyone gets involved in election interference, and the fact that they were here. So I'm not so, and this was Obama's time, so I wasn't surprised all this stuff was going down. So the fact that these guys were doing what they're doing, couldn't be surprised, because this is the way how they operate and how they act.
Agreed.
Have you noticed he's not mentioning names? So are those names in the documents? I guess we'll see when we read them. But
well, we're gonna
whenever
find
they
out.
post them.
So far, they're not posted that I've seen.
Yeah. Either.
Well, it's on that website, right?
Yeah, it's not live yet, though. Doesn't look like.
It'll probably be up after the speech.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. Here in
But none of this stuff that he's saying shouldn't surprise you. What's going on?
No, not at all.
Yeah, not surprised at all.
Oh, sorry. Let's get back to.
And former assistant
dang
press
it.
secretary at DHS.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
The Senate may, and then if that happens, And the best way for it to
Graham,
pass
what is
right now
happening?
is
It has been buried and covered up. But that's some statement, isn't it? Made from the honorable press. They
Hang on.
stated, and I quote, covered up and hidden from you, Gov, this will ultimately reduce, killed more than one person.
All right, hang on.
and thank you for your partnership here at Right Side.
And received gift cards tied to their number of.
All right, I gotta find this. Hang on. Precise seeking. We should be about here.
Is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots
Oh, yeah, here
for
we go.
Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefed on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that was supposed to burn the bags. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. And that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was.
Okay, so now he said Venezuela's a big actor. Is that part and parcel of why we went in there?
Well, they're the ones who did the Dominion machines.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
So,
but we knew that before this document dump. I mean, maybe this is proof. Like kind of to Beast's point, I hope this isn't just a bunch of, yeah, we kind of suspected that and knew that already. What's new here? And that's kind of
I thought before the Venezuelan raid that's what that was about. because
Right.
he had talked about them being involved with the Dominion machines and shit before they
100%.
did the raid.
They were so Venezuela was kind of that was kind of their niche was the Dominion, those machines, because I think they're manufactured down there, aren't they?
Something like that, yeah.
Or programmed or something. I know that they have there's some part of the supply chain they have to do with that.
Doesn't it also seem though his teleprompter is currently slow and that he's kind of frustrated about it? The way he's reading seems very odd.
I think
Just
he wants to get to the ad read for the Trump watches, right?
He wants to break off script. You can tell.
Yeah.
This thing's just about finished anyway, so.
Yeah.
Was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned. They couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the
That's
mail.
crazy that you can do that in America.
Yep. Here comes the push for the Save America Act, I think. And he mentioned the Democrat states not turn over the voter rolls. That would be us, Oregon, California, I think New Hampshire or Maine or one of the Minnesota. There's a bunch of states, Colorado, that have, then they haven't relented yet. They're just saying nope, privacy issue. But I think this will help bolster to get them to break loose. Eventually, it's going to be a court case, or a judge is going to have to order it, and hopefully, it's not an activist judge. But we'll see.
As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about. because of the fact that they don't
Shots
like the
fired.
topic, because they
There we go.
know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and
Yeah,
others in
and
the
that's what I
media are
said.
part of a
You want
plot.
the narrative.
They want to
100%. Yep. They want to control the narrative. And the fact that he's even mentioning, hey, they're not covering it. Okay. It like it's not going to get back to people. That's the crazy part. They still think the walls are so high that everything is compartmentalized and bifurcated where they can control the narrative. And it's like that ship sailed 10, 15 years ago. That's the crazy part.
continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, we should be together, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody. And it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately.
So that he wants to help fix it. No, this is shots across the bow that if you guys try and cheat here coming up in the midterms, we're watching you like a fucking hawk, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
It's
putting them on notice that we know what the fuck you're doing, right? Mind your P's and Q's.
I think that's the whole thrust of this. I was thinking it was to get the SAVE Act passed, but it sounds like he's maybe resigned himself to the fact that it's going to or not. This is more of solidifying the voting and saying, hey, I think you know, if you try and
isn't it all just bluster at the moment? It did, like
sure,
without
100%.
without knowing what's in those documents.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's all just hot wind from a politician. Who knew?
Yeah.
But did anyone ever actually believe that Joe the Potato Biden got more votes than Barack Obama?
Nope. Ain't no fucking way, bro.
Yeah.
Obama was literally the magic Negro. Shout out fucking Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Like
I believe
literally, there's no fucking way fucking dipshit Biden got more votes than him. No fucking way.
No.
But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act.
I spoke too soon.
Boom.
How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it
Oh, so he's
is
wrapping
you
it
want
all
to
up in a bow
cheat
here.
because your policies are
If he
so
says
bad.
something about getting rid of the filibuster
And your
now, then you
candidates
know he
are
means
so
business.
pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of
You know
citizenship.
what? To that too,
Are you a
Graham. Can you pause it
citizen of
real
our
quick?
country, please?
Yep, I'm on it. Yeah.
To that too, and that's I think a big reason why a lot of the rhinos are against this is because they're doing fucking shit in the sandbox too, and they know they can't get fucking elected
Yeah.
without this fucking bullshit going on behind the scenes, and that's what's really holding up this fucking. Because it's like you said, it's like it should be a no-brainer, right? Everybody should be like, yeah, this is legit. We need safe elections. We need it to be legit. Why is there so much resistance?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that, this is the type of scratch and sniff where if you find some irregularities in the voting, what else are you going to find? I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, nobody can convince me that broad button insider trading, just like the Pelosi's were, just like any of the other fuckers were. It's rampant right on both sides, and in
The rot runs deep.
Yeah, exactly. The rot runs deep on both sides, and if you're digging, it's like, oh fuck, what? Okay, if they're finding this, what else are they going to find? Because my guess is, well, I don't know, man. So much of this was brazen. Like we've known it or just like Beast, like you were saying, those of us in deep blue states, we've known this shit for decades. That the cheating is like obvious. It's in the open. They know that they're protected and that nothing will happen because if the Fed comes after them, they just go, yeah, we're going to sue them and say it's a privacy issue, which is exactly what we're doing right now. It's bonkers.
And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the.
Anybody have any problems with any of those exceptions? I don't.
Nope.
Yeah.
You'll get a lot of dead people going on cruises all of a sudden, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
They'll find a way to cheat it somehow, right? Yeah.
Well, just not if they were gay and the cruise is going to Turkey, but you know,
vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay.
Told you. He's telling
Together
everybody.
we will
pressure on
restore
the
faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
All righty.
Well, so for me,
There you go.
For me, I've got to say
delivering a
that
prime time national
Flags of Our Fathers was obviously clearly the better film.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Oh yeah,
Letters
I've
from
only
New
seen
York
about
was
20 minutes of it today.
You could cut both of those films together and make one epic story.
Oh, if you did like a Dunkirk back and forth kind of like,
Yeah.
I watched the first 20 minutes earlier and I'm like, oh, I forgot how good this is.
Wow, that's good, man.
So anyway, back to voter fraud.
That's why Pigeon's here is to derail it. That's his job.
Good for him, Pigeon. Good for him. Well done.
Yeah, and I knew. Listen, if it was going to be something military wise, the strike would have happened. Then he would have came out and said, "Yeah, we leveled this place." So,
you know, the other
yeah,
thing.
The only thing he could say around wise was like, "We are at war now." You know, we are officially at war, and you are anyway.
Well,
so.
The other
technically, it's still a kinetic action. It's not when people say war, it's not even a war.
Yeah.
war doesn't exist anymore. There's no such thing as boots on the ground.
In a lot of instances, no. I mean, whether you're talking Stuxnet or any other type of cyber warfare, you're right. A lot of that stuff is done in anticipation of airstrikes or whatever. It's all infrastructure. It's all. I mean, you can cripple a country. You don't have to. The truth is, you don't have to put boots on the ground if you don't want to. That is a political move. That is a sort of a power projection thing. But if you just want to cripple a country and wipe them out, you don't need to do it with a push of a couple.
Germany, Germany were within 2 days of wiping us out in the Battle of Britain. So it was just
Do I think there's maybe 200 or 300 U.S. troops on the ground? Probably, but
we'll never know about it. 50 years we'll know about it. But yeah, no, I think.
All right, I gotta run because I gotta jump on Comic Division's channel in about an hour. So I got some stuff I gotta do.
Yeah, my brother. Thank you for coming on, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Always good to see you.
It's a pleasure, buddy. Welcome anytime.
All right, thanks.
Later, Cole.
Yeah.
Cheers, later, bro. I think if it were military, we would. Nothing happens with a military of our size, with the exception of sort of black ops, that really funky stuff, like going to get Bin Laden, like that level shit. Yeah, there's no precursors, but something like an operation the size of Iran, you're moving ships, you're moving aircraft. Like when guys post, hey man, all of a sudden we see it, like here in Washington, we see a ton of activity at McCoy, and they're flying C-17s, and their flight pattern is from here to the East Coast, and then to Incirlik in Turkey, and then to Kuwait, and it's like, and they're doing that nonstop for 2 weeks in the lead up. It's like, okay,
you can see the patterns.
There's I say what you will. I know it's a new film, and it wasn't very good. The original Midway is better, but that new Midway, the Dean Devlin, Roland Emmerich reboot of the Midway film, there's an analogy that, who's the actor that played that sort of, he was in The Man in the High Castle. He was the guy that was like the liaison between the Japanese and the Americans. He was like getting like the sort of pieces of Americana that he would sell to the Japanese.
The main lead, Rufus Sewell.
He played Rochefort, the cryptographic analyst.
Sewell. Got a dodgy eye.
Yeah, thank you. Again, Rochefort's character says, okay, because when Woody Harrelson, who's playing Halsey, says, "Hey, how do you know it's going to be Midway?" And he's like, "You're only getting bits and pieces of each communique." And he goes, "Imagine you want to have a wedding. You need to hire caterers, and you need to hire a band, and somebody to assemble the dance floor, and somebody to bring the silverware, and somebody to bring the flowers." He's like, "So all you know is that flowers are going here, silverware is going here. You don't need to read the whole thing. You just know something's going to happen." And even on the internet, we're not cryptographic analysts, but we could see, oh yeah, the flight. There's enough data that would say something's about to happen. There's been not a lick of that leading up to this, so I didn't think it was that. I think we all kind of hit the nail on the head. This is a push, that last hard push. Well, maybe not last, but get the Save America Act over the finish line. This is laying the groundwork. This is the cheating that's happening. This is why it's important to pass the Save Act. Guess what? Here's all of the raw data we have. So if your representative votes against it, they hate America. They hate freedom. They hate everything that they allege to stand for. And what are you going to do about it? Because angry voters almost do more damage than apathetic voters.
I found the documents. I'm having troubles opening them.
Yeah, we were just looking here a second ago.
It's probably crashing.
Yeah. It's a zip file that you have to download and open up, but it's not.
I don't think they're going to name names as such. They're probably going to name states and the dates that it happened to lead you to come to your own conclusion. Who was in charge at that point in that city, and that sort of thing. But it's like I was saying with Graham earlier, it's all bluster. It's this is what we want to do. This is what happens. This is why you need to have voter ID. But who's realistically going to go and look at all those documents? We are. People like Benny Johnson are. Like political pundits will. on the right and on the left, and then we'll probably get from that where we are with it. But speech-wise, it was like we were saying earlier, it's just Russia, but China now. And it's going to be seen as that by the other side.
Yeah,
I wasn't that impressed of it.
I have faith that more people, and believe me, Pigeon, I'm with you on that, brother.
Yeah.
But I have faith that more people will be looking into it than normal, let's say.
Yeah.
But,
absolutely.
But,
people are waking up.
Right, but you're absolutely right in that a huge chunk of the people will just be like, oh, he's just like my little tagline says, the orange man is talking again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's
orange man bad.
Yeah, and that's what it'll be to a lot of people. Like, Trump is just talking again.
Yeah, I don't think it'll move much of a needle, apart from politically, but which is obviously what he needs and what he wants. And if that works, then great.
I don't think it moves much of a needle for people, but I think other than it informs them. This isn't meant for us. This is meant for those holdouts in Congress to say, get the fuck off your ass and vote for this thing, because guess what? Now everybody knows unequivocally it's not just, oh, we air quotes know cheating was happening. No, cheating is happening. So if you don't want voter ID, you want to be less than Canada. Canada takes a fucking ID to vote. You want to be beneath them? For fuck's sake. Mexico, you need a ID to vote. For fuck's sakes. Like,
you kicked us out. We need it.
When you go to the site, it's right up. Oh, when you go to the site, it's right up. You got to click this ticker at the top.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, you click that, and then you scroll down, and then each one is categorized.
There we go.
Have the file there.
Oh wow, they've done bullet points and everything. They've put a lot of time into this. They've obviously been ready to pull the trigger for a good few days.
So there'll be deep dives by Benny. There'll be deep dives by Ben Shapiro. There'll be deep dives by all the usual suspects. And,
Viva Fry and stuff like that.
Yep, exactly. And the lamestream media. Lamestream media is going to call it, this is all cooked up. This is not substantiated. This is all circumstantial. You watch. They're going to poo-poo it and downplay it.
They'll say he was an unhinged rant or something. That's how they'll describe the speech, like they always do.
They will go full court press to say this is disinformation and this is just a way. It's funny. Here we are talking about election integrity, and I thought the last election was democracy was on the ballot and we're never going to have them again. Yet here we are talking about election integrity. Funny that, this king, this dictator, this despot keeps talking about electing people instead of just seizing power and telling people what's going on. I find that Trump is the worst dictator in history. He's the weakest king in the history of the world. I swear to God.
The worst white supremacist, the worst dictator, the worst everything.
Listen, just small side story, bro. The irony of my Kanaka brethren going out there to No Kings protest and wanting a monarchy back in Hawaii was not lost on me, Kay. I had the biggest fucking laugh at it. And no, listen, bro. I'm a native. Listen, anybody who knows me for more than 5 minutes, I'm native to the core, bro. I'm always Hawaii first, right? Mau, all of that. But how the fuck you gonna go out to a No Kings protest and you fighting for a monarchy, bro? Get the fuck, go home. Go home, go cook rice or something. You fucker, get off the street with your stupid side. But yeah, he's King Trump is not a fucking thing, bro. And they should drop to their knees and thank God every day that he's not the monster that they claim he is. Because he could be a whole lot fucking worse. A whole lot worse.
Absolutely. Well, the No Kings protesters did succeed, didn't they? I mean, there's been no king since 1776. So.
That's when y'all kicked that fucking British the fuck up out of there, huh? Oh, Pigeon, my bad, bro.
We left.
Yeah, sorry, bro. I forgot you're still here.
I haven't been here since we started.
I'd like to point out King Kamehameha was still technically king after that, but potato.
What was his name? King Potato? Sounds about right.
Philistine pigeon. Read some Hawaiian history.
You.
I don't need to. I watched Hawaii 5-0. I've seen the statue. I know.
You know, you guys are old school.
Hawaii 5-0.
You know, we're new.
I can safely say, yeah, kings are fucking useless.
Oh, that's good. John, I'm gonna ban you again,
The
John.
Queen weren't too bad. But,
This motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
glad you didn't see my one.
Not in Hawaii.
Well, now that our stream has degenerated into our usual stream, it's coming up on that 2-hour mark. Do we want to go ahead and wrap it up?
Yeah. We can.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah. No, that was Trump kept it. Hey, you know what? He kept it under about 30 minutes. That was. I figured it would be a 2-hour spike the football and then 3 minutes of useful information as it normally is. So hey.
Well, he actually read the speech. He didn't go on crazy side tangents and stories.
Yeah, we didn't get to hear
there
about
was a little bit, but nothing major. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a few moments when he wanted to break free. Bro.
You could tell, man. It was like a caged animal. He was just,
Yeah. All right. Let's roll these outros. Mr. Spider, what we got coming up, man? What we doing?
We'll be back this Sunday for the Sunday Saloon, 3 p.m. with our regulars, Pigeon, McCara, and Roland the Wretched.
What the fuck are we doing Sunday? What is the plan for Sunday?
What are we doing Sunday?
I believe the stream is called Who the Fuck Knows?
Roland did his review of the Odyssey.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so, yeah, Roland is now suffering
Roland.
for us
Yeah.
at this moment.
Well.
All right. Mr. Graham Robbins and Miss Amy Robbins, what y'all up to? Where you be at? For those of you who missed it, Mr. Graham is officially an outlaw, newly minted. Congratulations to Mr. Graham one more time. And of course, Amy is included by proxy because that's his lady. How are you guys?
Better
you guys got going on?
Yeah, I will be on this Sunday. No band practice this week, or I think next weekend. So yeah, next couple of Sundays I will be on the Sunday Saloon. Yeehaw! And then obviously Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and then a week from today. And then I'm trying to find my footing, live streaming on my own. We'll see how that goes. God bless you, Donna, by the way, for jumping in last night. That was fun.
I live to serve.
Well, you're the one that drugged me into the show, so you better be there. So yeah,
you figure I started this shit show. I might as well watch it.
Yeah. You'll see me around here.
All right, Mr. Darth Yeager, chilled monkey brains. How you doing, man? And where you be at, bro?
Yeah, I'm on Chill Monkey Brains. That's YouTube. I dropped a video Monday about why the cancellation of Doctor Who is a good thing for fandom. I got a review of Star Trek Nemesis coming out on the 27th, so check out the channel if you all like those sorts of things. I'm usually hanging out and causing trouble in various YouTube chats, so you'll see me there. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah, Mr. Living Pigeon, what you be doing, man? Where you be at?
As you all said, I'll be on Sunday to shoot the shit with you all. But I'm learning to use Picasso now and trying to find a good editing suite because it's doing my editing. I don't know how you all do it sometimes with these videos. It's a nightmare. But I'm learning. I'm getting there.
All right, Mr. John Ambler. What you up to, bro? Besides harassing me in chat, man. What's going on?
Yeah, you probably. Yeah, really. Yeah, you probably find me in chat. I hadn't been that active this week with work popping up, but yeah, I might be around in chat. And usually I'm on with Multi Maldi on Sunday nights. He's started streaming again. So, and then you can also find my music on my music channel, John Ambler on YouTube. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I gotta hit Multi. Hey, listen, man. Multi, if you watching this, man, Sundays and Mondays, he'll drop me a random link on like a fucking Tuesday or a Wednesday. And I'm like, bro, I'm sleeping when y'all streaming, guys. Sunday, Mondays, bro. I love that. Hey, shout out Multiverse, y'all go check him out, bro. He's a cool cat. Miss Donna Doc, what's going on with you, sis? What you doing? Where you be at?
Like Spider said, we've got the Sunday and Monday shows, like Spider and Graham said. Thursday, we have Cajun Corey and Miss Deborah Perkins joining us.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, that ought to be a shit show supreme.
Yeah.
Shit show supreme. Extra.
Yeah,
supreme.
when
Take off
when I
Friday
book
so I
them,
can drink up.
I book them for entertainment.
Yeah, thank God last weekend was last time was a 3-day with Deborah. I was fucking puking by the end of that one.
Yeah, I am Beastman, Ocean Man Productions, bro. Check me out over on the X, the Beast87. We actually dropped prompt of the day 100 today. For those of you who follow me, usually roll out different prompts every day, and doing some cool stuff, man. So there's some really cool shit popping on X right now. Besides all this political stuff, so be into the AR art scene, bro. Go on and check that out. And as always, man, tell the ones you love that you love them, and remain blessed, y'all. We out.